Hello and welcome back to another video with the Sports Scoop. Today we're going to be going over our Week 11 NFL predictions. This is our most watched series, so to all of our fans, come back, watch this video, like and subscribe, and let's get a video that hits 1,000 views. Coming in with the Thursday game, we've got the Cardinals against the Seattle Seahawks. And I've got the Cardinals winning this one. Seahawks coming off an unconvincing performance against the Rams. Russell Wilson had a bad game. Cardinals coming off their crazy Hail Mary win against the Bills. DeAndre Hopkins with a great catch at the very end. I have the Cardinals winning this game because I like the matchups offensively against a struggling Seattle defense. And I want to see them expose the secondary for what it is. The Eagles and the Browns. I've got the Eagles winning this one. Browns haven't looked very convincing offensively since Odell was knocked out injured. And the Eagles, even though they just lost to the Giants, I think they are a much stronger team than people perceive them to be. I like Travis Fulgham in his matchup against the Browns this week, and I think they will come out on top. Going into the next one, we've got two of the worst teams to ever play football. But Joe Burrow is here to save the Bengals. The Bengals versus the Washington football team. The Washington football team, just give me a few seconds to rant about this team. The Washington football team had the perfect opportunity to beat the Detroit Lions. And instead of taking this game to overtime, they managed to give up a 59-yard field goal in the last 5 seconds. How do they even do this? I have no idea. They are that bad. Anyway, coming back to this game, I think that the Washington football team will, again, lose to Joe Burrow and the Bengals. I like T. Higgins in his matchup, and I really like the matchup of Giovanni Bernard / Joe Mixon versus a struggling run defense. So I think that this will be a big Bengals win. Moving on to an NFC South matchup. We've got Saints and the Falcons. I could see a Michael Thomas turnaround game here. Michael Thomas has been very absent from the Saints all throughout this year, but I could see him coming back to this one and really showing why he is one of the top receivers in the NFL. He's been getting a lot of hate from fantasy owners, and rightfully so, but I think he is good enough to make a comeback in this one, and I think they're going to win. Steelers and the Jags. It feels like everyone wants to give the Steelers a loss in almost every game, but you just can't bring yourself to do it. This is the game where I feel the same way. I don't think the Steelers are good enough to be 10-0, but this is not a game that they're going to lose. Their defense is too solid, and their wide receiver depth, in a weird way, is one of the best wide receiver depths in the league. They don't have a superstar on their hands. Chase Claypool's been putting up great numbers. Deontay Johnson's been showing up recently. Juju Smith-Schuster had a great week last week against the Bengals. And don't forget about James Washington. He's a guy who can make a big difference really quickly from anywhere on the field. So Steelers are going to win this game very comfortably. I don't see any other possible outcome in this one. The Pats versus the Texans. These two teams have problems. It's easy to see that. But I think the Patriots are going to win just because I like how Cam Newton is starting to get back. Against the Ravens, he was good, and against the Jets, he really showed up. Cam Newton, great player for the Panthers for a long time, and I think he's starting to get that back. He had a bit of an off stretch, but I think it's coming back to him. Texans don't look very convincing, only scored 7 points against the Browns, who don't have the greatest defense. So I have the Pats winning that one. The Lions and the Panthers. The Panthers are going to win this one simply because
Christian McCaffrey is the best running back in the NFL.
Christian McCaffrey, he is so good. There's no way of explaining how good this guy is. He's one of the best players I've ever watched, and I've watched football for a very long time. I've never seen someone as talented at catching the ball from the running back position as Christian McCaffrey, and he is going to be the reason they win this game. Bridgewater's been great this season, and having that check down option will also be very good for him. The Titans and the Ravens. This is a game where the Ravens are going to be outshone by the running game of Derrick Henry. It happened in the playoffs. People say this is a revenge game for the Ravens. I don't think so. I think this is a game where Derrick Henry and the run game from the Titans will absolutely run down the Ravens. I don't see the Ravens scoring more points. And I also like the matchups with A.J. Brown, not good enough to be shadowed, so he'll be running around on the slot corners a lot, and I could see Tannehill throwing to him a lot in a great game for those two. I think the Titans will win this one. It's going to be a good game, though. Moving on to the 4 o'clock games, the later games, the Jets and the Chargers. If you've seen me on these videos, you know I've been talking down on the Washington football team ever since I've been a part of this YouTube channel. But the New York Jets are they're worse. They have not figured out anything that works for them. They claim they're tanking. I simply don't believe it. I've been a Miami Dolphins fan my entire life, and Adam Gase is not the coach that's going to tank. I just think they're just that bad. But moving back onto the game, I think that LA Chargers will simply just go into this one. Justin Herbert will put up a load of points throwing to Keenan Allen. It'll be a pretty simple game. They'll go in, go out. LA Chargers going to beat the New York Jets. The Packers and the Colts. These are two teams who are on the top of their game recently. Even though the Packers put up a tight game against the struggling Jacksonville Jaguars, they still managed to get the result. And I think that the Colts are going to win this game because I love how their defense has been playing, and recently the special teams as well has been putting in their shift, especially against the Titans on that Thursday night game. I think that this is going to be what separates these two teams, because offensively the Packers are better, but defensively I really just like how the Colts pass rush is working and the secondary has been stepping up. Broncos and the red hot Miami Dolphins. No bias here. I think they are the second best defense in the National Football League other than the Pittsburgh Steelers. They've been proving it week in, week out. Miami Dolphins putting in perfect performances. They held Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray ran them down, but they beat him. Offensively, Tua Tagovailoa has been great in the last 2 weeks, and I really like how he is starting to build a bond with Jakeem Grant and last week Preston Williams. But I think that the Broncos are not going to be able to hold up with this offense, and the Miami defense will be able to shut them down. Broncos haven't really done much offensively in the last couple weeks. Still haven't really decided who their top running back is. So I think I'm going to give this one to Miami pretty comfortably, move them into a 7-3 start, which is honestly quite astounding for the way people expected them to be this year. Dalvin Cook and the Vikings versus the Dallas Cowboys. Dalvin Cook has proven why he is a top player in the NFL this year. I myself had my doubts about him, injury prone and all, but he's a guy who instantly, when he's on the field, can change the outcome of a game with the touch of a ball. He has big playability, and I really love how he finds the space and he can just bowl people over. So I think he's going to be the reason the Vikings win this game. They're going to have steady passing. Cowboys might have Andy Dalton back. We're yet to see. With Andy Dalton back, it might call for a bit of a closer game, but either way, I see the Vikings going out and beating the Cowboys. Going on to the Sunday night matchup, we've got a rematch of the Chiefs and the Raiders. Raiders are the only team who have beaten the Chiefs. Josh Jacobs just came off of his best game of the season, and I think that the Chiefs are just going to go in. Patrick Mahomes after a bye week, Tyreek Hill after a bye week. These are guys that are fresh off their bye weeks, and they're going to go in and destroy the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't see any reason why they shouldn't. Chiefs are, I think, the best team in the NFL, and I think they're going to go and improve it. With the last game of the week, we've got the Rams and the Bucks. Tampa Bay put up a great performance against Carolina. They really showed up. Tom Brady had one of his best games of the year, and Ronald Jones, he was great. He wasn't even that good. He just had a 98-yard touchdown. I think that the Bucks are going to win this game just because of the sheer firepower of their offense. Antonio Brown is starting to pull up again. He's starting to get ready to, maybe make a playoff push for himself and become one of the better receivers in the league. I'm liking Godwin. I'm liking Evans. Gronkowski's doing his part. I'm really liking everything that's coming together. I said at the start of the year they were going to be 9-7, and I was very wrong. I really like how everything's coming together for this team. And a lot of credit has to go to the coach, Bruce Arians, and I'm going to give it to him. I think the Buccaneers are going to win this game. And that'll be all for our Week 11 prediction. Sorry. And as I said before, make sure you like, subscribe, and try to get this video to 1,000 subs. I feel like we deserve it. Let's get to it. Peace.